Welcome, beautiful Sigma ladies. Some mothers build homes. Sigma females build empires disguised as living rooms. It's strange, isn't it? How one woman can be both the calm and the command center of an entire household, sipping her coffee in silence while subtly reprogramming her children's entire mindset. Studies have shown that emotionally composed mothers raise more self-reliant children, and no one embodies that paradox better than the Sigma female mum. She's not the type to post best mom ever under a filtered selfie or panic over a missing sock. She's the one quietly raising future masterminds while other parents argue about bedtime. Her love doesn't scream, it strategizes. Her affection isn't loud. It's layered with precision, timing, and that terrifying calm that makes even her own kids pause before acting up. To outsiders, she might look distant, even cold. But to those who understand her design, every cool reaction is a lesson in emotional discipline. She's the mother who doesn't raise followers. She manufactures thinkers, rebels, and quiet rulers. And if you ever wonder whether she's being too detached, don't worry. That's silence. That's her way of saying, watch, I'm building character. Number 1, she doesn't need to be needed. A Sigma female mum doesn't crave the emotional attachment that many parents secretly feed on. She doesn't build her worth on whether her children still come running to her for approval, comfort, or advice. In fact, the moment her child stops depending on her is the moment she feels she's done her job right. That's her quiet victory, the graduation ceremony only she attends in her mind. Unlike mothers who fear the day their children won't need them anymore, the Sigma female expects it, even prepares for it. She knows dependency can be a disguised form of emotional control. She refuses to build love on need because she believes real love should survive independence. So when her kids start making decisions on their own, even the wrong ones, she doesn't panic or interfere. She steps back, not out of apathy, but out of deep respect for their autonomy. Her detachment confuses people. Some think she's too cold, others think she doesn't care. But she does, intensely. She just won't cage her children with guilt, emotional manipulation, or the classic "after all I've done for you" script. To her, love isn't a chain, it's a launch pad. When her child moves out, builds their own life and forgets to call for weeks, she doesn't crumble or spiral into loneliness. She smiles, because that was the mission, to raise someone who can stand alone without constant reassurance. That's the quiet, powerful pride she carries, the kind that doesn't need a Mother's Day post to validate it. She doesn't need to be needed, because she already knows who she is. Her identity doesn't dissolve into motherhood, it expands through it. And that's what makes her different. She doesn't raise children who orbit her world. She raises sons that can burn on their own. That's not distance. That's mastery disguised as motherhood. Number 2, she builds adults, not children. A Sigma female mum doesn't see her kids as fragile beings who need constant protection. She sees them as unfinished adults who must be prepared for a world that rarely forgives softness. From the moment they can talk, she starts shaping their thinking. Not by lecturing, but by how she lives. She teaches responsibility early, not because she's harsh, but because she knows the world won't wait for them to grow up before testing them. While other parents try to preserve their children's innocence for as long as possible, she quietly replaces it with awareness. She doesn't feed them fairy tales about how kind people always win. She tells them the truth. That sometimes doing the right thing won't be rewarded, and that real strength comes from getting up when no one claps. Her kids don't grow up expecting the world to be easy. They grow up trained to handle it when it's not. She's not interested in raising children who are simply obedient. She wants independent thinkers who question, decide, and stand firm. When they make mistakes, she doesn't rush to rescue them. She lets the lesson bruise, because she knows a scraped ego is a better teacher than a pampered one. Every challenge becomes part of their emotional armor. Her approach may seem cold to outsiders, but there's method in it. She's not withholding love, she's shaping endurance. She doesn't raise her children to depend on her voice, but to trust their own judgment. By the time they're grown, they don't need her to tell them what to do. They've already learned how to think. Her greatest pride isn't in raising good kids, it's in watching them become self-sufficient adults who carry her strength without needing her shadow. That's the Sigma mother's hidden genius. She doesn't just raise offspring, she manufactures future leaders who no longer need her to guide their hands. That's not detachment, it's legacy in motion. Number 3, she's the mother. You understand only in adulthood. A Sigma female mum often confuses her children when they're young. To them, she seems strict, detached, or hard to read. She doesn't react like other mothers do, doesn't pamper them when they expect comfort, and doesn't bend just to keep peace. Her calm feels distant, her rules feel heavy, and her silence can feel cold. But what her kids can't see yet is that every quiet decision she makes is building them for a world that won't offer softness. She's not raising them for comfort, she's raising them for clarity. When they grow older, the pieces start to click. They begin to see that her discipline was never punishment. It was training. Her refusal to coddle wasn't rejection, it was preparation. The same firmness that once felt unfair becomes the voice in their heads that keeps them grounded when life tests them. They realize that while other people's parents shielded their kids from reality, theirs was teaching them to walk through it with their chin up and their emotions under control. Her children eventually see how strategic her love really was. They notice that while she didn't shower them with endless praise, she built their confidence by letting them earn it. They recall moments when she could have fixed things for them, but didn't, and now understand she was letting them grow roots instead of giving them wings too early. As adults, they start living the values she planted: independence, restraint, focus. The same traits they once misunderstood become the very ones that set them apart, and when they finally face real-life chaos, they hear her lessons echo, not as rules, but as instincts. That's when it hits them. She wasn't being hard, she was being accurate. The Sigma female mum isn't fully appreciated in childhood because her love isn't designed for that stage. It's built for the moment her children step into the world alone and realize she'd been preparing them for that day all along. Number 4, she's both the storm and the shelter. A Sigma female mum carries a balance most people can't understand. She can be fierce enough to shake the room when she needs to correct her children, yet soft enough to be the only place they feel safe returning to afterward. Her strength isn't about intimidation, it's about knowing when to roar and when to protect. When things fall apart, she doesn't panic. She becomes the force that resets the entire atmosphere. Her calm isn't the absence of emotion, it's control dressed as composure. Her children grow up seeing two sides of her, the storm that doesn't tolerate nonsense, and the shelter that welcomes them when they face the world's cruelty. They learn that both are love, just expressed differently. She can call out their mistakes with surgical precision, and still be the first to defend them against outsiders. Her version of discipline doesn't come from ego, but from a fierce desire to prepare them for a world that won't always give second chances. When the house is in chaos, her voice doesn't rise, her energy does. Everyone feels it. Things settle not because she demands order, but because she embodies it. And when her children break down, she doesn't fix them with empty comfort. She sits with them, steady and grounded, until they can fix themselves. That's how she teaches emotional survival, through presence, not panic. Her children eventually understand that she was never too harsh or too distant. She was the perfect storm, strong enough to destroy excuses, gentle enough to rebuild confidence. They grow up with an inner calm that mirrors hers, the kind that doesn't crumble under pressure. In her duality, they learn that strength doesn't mean coldness, and kindness doesn't mean weakness. She was both their test and their safe haven, and that's how she built their resilience without ever saying a word. Number 5. She never becomes her children's friend. A Sigma female mum doesn't chase the approval of her children. She's not interested in being their bestie or their emotional twin. She understands that motherhood isn't a popularity contest. It's a mission. Her goal isn't to be liked every day. It's to be respected for a lifetime. While other parents try to blend in with their kids' world, she stays firmly rooted in hers. She knows her children don't need another friend. They need a standard, a boundary, and a mirror that reflects accountability. When she says no, she means it, not because she's cold, but because she knows that easy love breeds weak discipline. Her children might roll their eyes or accuse her of being too strict, but she doesn't flinch. She's not raising comfort seekers. She's raising future adults who can hear the word no and not fall apart. Her firmness might sting in the moment, but it leaves an imprint, a structure her children will later depend on when life stops giving them shortcuts. She doesn't try to be relatable because she knows her kids don't need someone to validate their emotions. They need someone to anchor them when emotions cloud logic. She won't gossip about teachers or side with them just to keep peace. She plays the long game, even if it means being misunderstood in the short term. Her children might resent her decisions now, but they'll thank her later when they realize she was the one person who never blurred the lines. Her love has authority, not desperation. It's the kind of love that doesn't crumble when tested or fade when challenged. By refusing to be their friend, she earns something far more powerful: eternal respect. Her children grow up knowing she wasn't there to be liked. She was there to make them strong. And one day, when they face the world's chaos, they'll realize that what once felt like distance was actually the backbone that kept them from breaking. Number 6. She chooses logic over emotion, even in love. A Sigma female mum loves with intention, not impulse. Her emotions don't run the show. Her mind does. She understands that too much emotion can cloud judgment, especially when raising children who will one day have to survive without her. So instead of reacting, she calculates. Every decision she makes, from discipline to affection, is filtered through logic. She doesn't overprotect because she knows pain teaches faster than comfort ever could. Her love isn't reckless, it's strategic. When her child makes a mistake, she doesn't rush in to shield them. She observes first, allowing them to face the natural consequence. Not because she's cold, but because she knows that real growth often comes wrapped in discomfort. She believes that saving her children from every struggle would only make them dependent and fragile. Her care is rooted in long-term strength, not short-term relief. That's why her children grow up emotionally grounded. They've been trained to think before reacting, to respond instead of explode. Her logical approach doesn't mean she lacks empathy. She feels deeply, but she refuses to let emotions make her inconsistent. If she says no today, it stays no tomorrow, no matter how many tears or tantrums follow. That stability teaches her kids that emotions don't change principles. They learn that love doesn't always mean agreement, and that discipline is also a form of protection. People might mistake her calm for detachment, but it's actually discipline. She knows that emotions fade, but structure remains. Her kids grow up with quiet confidence because they've seen how control, not chaos, builds safety. And while her love may not come with dramatic displays or endless pampering, it's the kind that endures, steady, measured, and unshakably loyal. The Sigma female mum doesn't love loudly, she loves wisely. And that wisdom is what makes her children stronger than sentiment ever could. Number 7. Her form of affection is legacy. A Sigma. Female mum doesn't express love through constant affection or flowery words. Her love is quiet, practical, and deeply strategic. She's not obsessed with giving her children everything they want. She's focused on building something that will outlast her. Her affection comes through preparation, not pampering. While other mothers shower their kids with gifts or emotional reassurance, she's building a foundation they'll still be standing on long after she's gone. She'll teach them skills, principles, and independence instead of spoiling them with comfort. If she invests in something, it's not a moment. It's a structure. It might be a business, a mindset, or a way of thinking that ensures her children can thrive without her presence. Her love language isn't, "Are you happy right now?" It's, "Will you survive when I'm not around?" That's her affection. Invisible today, invaluable tomorrow. She doesn't waste energy on overprotecting her children from pain. She'd rather teach them how to handle it. Her love doesn't say, "I'll save you." It says, "I'll make you strong enough that you'll never need saving." That's why her children may not always feel her warmth in the way the world defines it, but they'll grow up realizing she was building something bigger, a sense of self-sufficiency that no crisis can take away. To her, love isn't about control or constant reassurance. It's about setting things in motion that will keep running even when she's no longer there to push them. Her children might not remember every hug, but they'll remember the mindset she gave them. The resilience, the structure, the unshakable sense of direction. That's her legacy. She doesn't love through comfort. She loves through construction. Every decision she makes is a brick in the fortress of her children's future, and in a quiet, disciplined way, that's how she leaves behind a love too strong to fade, one built on permanence, not performance. Number 8. She teaches by existence, not explanation. A Sigma. Female mum doesn't preach. She demonstrates. Her children don't grow up listening to endless lectures. They grow up watching mastery in motion. She knows that real lessons are absorbed through behavior, not words. So when life hits her with rejection, betrayal, or unfairness, she doesn't complain or dramatize it. She adjusts, recalibrates, and moves with calm precision. Her kids see that, and in that quiet strength, they learn more than any moral speech could ever teach. She understands that children are silent observers, not passive listeners. They might ignore her advice, but they never miss her reaction. When she chooses grace over gossip, patience over panic, or discipline over excuses, she's programming something deep into their subconscious: resilience, composure, and emotional intelligence. They learn that power isn't about being loud. It's about staying centered when everything else falls apart. Her home isn't filled with emotional noise. It's filled with intention. Her silence teaches self-control. Her consistency teaches reliability. Even the way she walks into a room, handles conflict, or recovers from failure becomes a masterclass in self-respect. Her children grow up modeling her behavior, often without realizing it. They learn to pause before reacting, to think before speaking, and to keep their dignity even when others lose theirs. She doesn't force lessons, she embodies them. She knows words fade, but presence lingers. Her children might not remember what she said, but they'll never forget how she handled life, how she didn't break when everything pushed her to. That's the blueprint she leaves behind. Her strength doesn't come from teaching perfection, but from showing how to remain human and powerful at the same time. And that's why her children end up carrying her values naturally, because she didn't teach them through fear or repetition, but through example. Her existence is the curriculum. Number 9. Her warmth is earning-based, not automatic. A Sigma. Female mum doesn't believe in unconditional access to her warmth. Her love is sacred, something to be respected, not expected. She doesn't see affection as a default setting. She sees it as a reflection of trust and effort. That doesn't make her cold or unloving. It makes her deliberate. To her, love without respect is just sentiment, and sentiment without standards is weakness. So she teaches her children early that emotional access must be built, not assumed. When her children act entitled, she doesn't rush to appease them. She lets them feel the discomfort of distance until they realign with respect. She knows that in the real world, no one is obligated to love you through disrespect or carelessness. By making her affection conditional on integrity, she's quietly teaching them how relationships actually work. That love isn't currency, it's consequence. Her warmth isn't gone, it's simply disciplined. When she gives it, it means something. A hug from her after a hard day isn't routine. It's reassurance that you've handled yourself with maturity. Her praise isn't cheap or constant. It's earned through growth, honesty, and accountability. Her children grow up valuing approval, not expecting it. They understand that her love doesn't flow automatically. It deepens with character. Some might see this as cold parenting, but it's actually her highest form of care. She's preparing her kids for a world that doesn't hand out kindness without reason. She wants them to know that true affection has depth. It's not performative or impulsive. By making them earn her warmth, she ensures they'll never take it for granted, and they'll never settle for hollow affection from others. Her love isn't loud, but it's loyal. Once you've earned her trust, her warmth becomes unshakable, the kind that doesn't vanish when life gets messy. That's the beauty of a Sigma mother's affection. It may take time to earn, but once it's yours, it's the safest, strongest love you'll ever know. Number 10. Her calm is misread as cold. A Sigma female mum doesn't fall apart when life turns chaotic. She freezes the storm instead. While others rush to react, she steps into stillness. It's not that she doesn't feel, it's that she refuses to let emotion take the driver's seat when logic is needed most. Her calm during chaos can be unsettling, even to her children. They may think she's detached or uncaring, but what they're really witnessing is a level of control most people never master. She knows panic doesn't fix problems, it multiplies them. When things go wrong, money issues, family conflict, or unexpected loss, she becomes quieter, sharper, more precise. Every move is intentional. She's already calculating outcomes while everyone else is drowning in emotion. Her children learn from that. They see that breakdowns don't bring solutions, and that calm is not weakness, it's weaponry. Her silence in crisis isn't absence, it's assessment. She's observing what needs to be done, who's capable of doing it, and how to stabilize the situation without adding more noise. This control gives her household an unspoken security. Even if the world outside is falling apart, her children know one thing: their mother won't. That steady presence becomes their emotional anchor for life. People who don't understand her mistake her composure for coldness because they equate care with chaos. But she knows that loud love burns fast, while silent strength endures. Her way of caring isn't through tears or panic. It's through holding everything together when others can't. As her children grow, they begin to mirror her steadiness. When life hits them hard, they don't shatter. They pause, breathe, and think, just like she taught them without words. Her calm becomes their inheritance, her restraint their emotional backbone. What once looked like coldness was actually power, the rare kind that holds families together when the world expects them to break. Number 11. She values truth over comfort. A Sigma. Female mum doesn't believe in lying to her children for the sake of emotional ease. She knows that protecting them from the truth only delays their growth. So when they fail, she doesn't soften it with comforting words or inflated praise. She tells it exactly as it is, firm, clear, but never cruel. She believes that truth, no matter how uncomfortable, is the foundation of real strength. To her, comfort without honesty is a slow poison that weakens character. When her child comes home disappointed, expecting sympathy, she listens, but she doesn't feed them excuses. Instead, she helps them dissect what went wrong and how to rebuild better. She doesn't say, "You did your best," if they clearly didn't. She says, "You can do better, and here's how." It's not rejection, it's refinement. Her love isn't about shielding them from reality, it's about preparing them to face it head-on without fear. Some might see her as harsh or overly direct, but she knows what she's doing. The world won't hand out comfort every time things fall apart, and she refuses to raise children who collapse under criticism. By being honest, she gives them mental armor, a resilience built on truth, not illusion. Her kids learn early that honesty may sting, but it saves them from bigger pain later. Her approach creates children who don't fear feedback or failure. They grow up emotionally grounded, aware of their flaws, but also equipped to fix them. And when they succeed, they know it's real, not manufactured by constant reassurance, but earned through effort and self-awareness. She values truth over comfort, because she knows comfort fades, but truth builds. Her love isn't about making life easy, it's about making her children capable. They may not thank her when they're young, but one day they'll look back and realize that every hard truth she spoke was a stepping stone to their strength. Number 12. She doesn't demand respect. She commands it by aura. A Sigma female mum doesn't chase respect with words, punishments, or arguments. She doesn't raise her voice or make threats. Instead, she radiates a presence so strong and composed that respect becomes automatic. Her authority isn't imposed, it's absorbed. Her children sense it instinctively, even before they fully understand why. Her calm confidence, her deliberate movements, and her quiet decisiveness create an invisible boundary that they can't ignore. When rules are broken or mistakes are made, she doesn't panic or scream. Her reaction is measured, subtle, and yet deeply corrective. A single look, a pause, or a calm word carries more weight than hours of lectures. Her children quickly learn that rebellion against her presence is futile because she doesn't fight, she simply embodies control. The house itself becomes a reflection of her composure, and her children internalize it without needing to be forced. Her aura isn't about intimidation, it's about clarity. She doesn't demand respect because she understands that respect forced is fleeting. Instead, she creates an environment where her children choose to respect her because they recognize her mastery of herself. They see that she operates from consistency, wisdom, and restraint, qualities they naturally admire and eventually emulate. Over time, her children develop an understanding that true authority doesn't scream, it simply exists. They learn to listen, think before acting, and consider consequences, not because they fear punishment, but because they recognize the standard she sets. Her silent power becomes the framework for their own behavior, teaching them that influence is stronger when it comes from example, rather than enforcement. The Sigma female mum's respect is effortless, unwavering, and unshakable. She doesn't have to demand it because her presence is its own declaration. Her children grow up internalizing this lesson. Respect is earned through composure, consistency, and mastery, not by raising your voice. The Sigma female mum is unlike any other. She isn't defined by clichés of motherhood, nor does she measure love by hugs, smiles, or constant reassurance. She operates on a different frequency entirely, one where presence outweighs words, strategy outweighs impulse, and legacy outweighs temporary comfort. She builds adults, not children. She commands respect without demanding it. She teaches lessons without uttering a single lecture. Her calm is power, her independence is a challenge, and her love is a foundation, quiet, deliberate, and unshakable. Her children might not understand her fully as they grow up, and some might even label her as distant or hard. But time, experience, and life itself eventually reveal the depth of her design. Every action she takes, every boundary she sets, every principle she instills is a calculated investment in her children's future. She doesn't raise followers, she raises thinkers, warriors, and leaders who can navigate a world that often rewards chaos and punishes weakness. Her motherhood is not performative. It doesn't need applause, validation, or recognition. It exists as a force, subtle, commanding, and transformative. The Sigma female mum doesn't chase attention. She creates influence, and her children, even if they realize it years later, are the living proof of her mastery. She is a storm and a shelter, a teacher and a guide, a force of nature quietly shaping the next generation. If you've been fascinated by this glimpse into the world of a Sigma female mother, make sure you don't miss out on more content like this. Subscribe to the channel to dive deeper into extraordinary truths. Comment your thoughts and experiences below to join the conversation. And share this with anyone who needs to understand the profound power of Sigma women. Trust me, this is just the beginning of uncovering insights that will change the way you see strength, motherhood, and influence forever.